When I'm thinking about the best product presentation, one thing comes up. Steve Jobs' 2007 iPhone product presentation. If we're learning, why don't we just learn from the best? Today I'm going through his introduction section of the iPhone presentation to show you how he pitched the product and how you can use the same strategy to pitch your product and to pitch yourself. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this, and let's go!
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
Okay, just the first sentence, but there is a lot of purpose in this already. He gave away an important number, 2.5 years. They used 2.5 years to build up this product, to prepare for this product pitch. So the audience, you better pay attention for the next 45 minutes of your time on this 2.5 years of preparation. Is 2.5 years a long time? Not that much in terms of product development, but mentioning it at the beginning does help to build up 100% attention from the audience members.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. And Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the whole computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry.
So I did some cut just to focus on the important part. At this stage, what he's doing is he's building authority for Apple as a brand. And you might think everybody knows Apple, but 12 years ago, does everybody knows what they're doing? He presented Apple in a way that it's not just a product, but a revolutionary leader for the last 23 years. And for this section, he really built up the high expectation from the audience because people do look at the past to predict the future.
Well, today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, 3 things: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. And here it is.
This is the most interesting way to introduce a product, and he built up the hype even more from the audience by introducing the product not immediately Imagine someone just introduced a product the traditional way. Hey, here's my product, and here's feature 1, 2, 3 that you care about. Instead, he mentioned the functions that customers value the most first, then introduce his product that performs the functions. At the end, no picture about iPhone? This is some real build-up. Like you're listening to an EDM song, it's and you're expecting the drop, but not yet. What are you gonna think? Hey, what's going on? What's so secretive about this drop? And people love secret. At this stage, he already built up the audience excitement to a level that they can't wait to hear about what this product is. Alright, the next section, he's going to talk about the traditional smartphones.
And they all have these plastic little keyboards on them. And the problem is that they're not so smart and they're not so easy to use. So if you kind of make a Business School 101 graph of the smart axis and the easy to use axis, phones, regular cell phones are kind of right there. They're not so smart and they're not so easy to use. But smartphones are definitely a little smarter, but they actually are harder to use. They're really complicated. Just for the basic stuff, people have a hard time figuring out how to use them. Well, we don't want to do either one of these things. What we want to do is make a leapfrog product that is way smarter than any mobile device has ever been and super easy to use. This is what iPhone is. Okay? So, we're going to reinvent the phone.
Okay, he's talking about why Apple is unique, the position. But I have to say that was not the Business 101 class that I took. The Business 101 class that I took has quality on the x-axis and price on the y-axis. But in his graph, both axes are about the quality because Apple is not telling you we are cheap. They're telling you we are unique, so you need to pay a premium on our product. You cannot find anyone in this position to provide such a value. This is not a complete version of the competitive analysis, but it's the only part worth mentioning to show the audience that this product is as evolutionary as he said. And next is the last section before he introduced the iPhone.
Now, why do we need a revolutionary user interface? I mean, here's 4 smartphones, right? Motorola Q, the BlackBerry, Palm Treo, Nokia E62, the usual suspects. And what's wrong with their user interfaces? Well, the problem with them is really sort of in the bottom 40 there. It's this stuff right here. They all have these keyboards that are there whether you need them or not to be there. And they all have these control buttons that are fixed in plastic and are the same for every application. Well, every application wants a slightly different user interface, a slightly optimized set of buttons just for it. And what happens if you think of a great idea 6 months from now? You can't run around and add a button to these things. They're already shipped. So what do? It doesn't work because the buttons and the controls can't change. They can't change for each application, and they can't change down the road if you think of another great idea you want to add to this product.
You all know that UI is what Steve Jobs cares about the most. You see that he did not just mention a general problem that everybody has, but focus on a specific limitation of the customer's current solution. He is not positioning himself as selling the product, but a solution provider for these people so their problem can be solved. The problem he's solving might not be the most painful in the world, but it's specific enough that it resonates well with a group of people. Many presenters make the mistake of not making the problem specific enough, so it doesn't resonate deeply with a group of people. When your problem is too general, people will think, yeah, I have the problem, but I don't want to pay for it.
Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
Ding! Friendly reminder. Remember 2007 we called this giant screen? And it took about 7 minutes for him to get on this point and show the real picture of iPhone. At this stage, the audience mental state is at a completely different level compared to the start of the presentation. It's not, oh, it's a product. But, oh, finally, we are getting the real product.
And we have invented a new technology called multi-touch, which is phenomenal. It works like magic. You don't need a stylus. It's far more accurate than any touch display that's ever been shipped. It ignores unintended touches. It's super smart. You can do multi-finger gestures on it. And boy, have we patented it. So,
to end up on this slides, I really want to mention some of the word choices he has on introducing iPhone in general and introducing the multi-touch technology. Just for the last minute, he was using big words like phenomenal, super smart, work like magic. He truly believed this product will work well. Be a bit careful about using all these words when you don't truly believe in your product, because the audience will tell, the users will tell when you're not telling the truth. And make sure you have evidence on proving all these points that you made. For Steve's presentation, he used the next 40 minutes introducing all these features that's really adding a lot of values for the users who's using smartphone. Those are some hard evidence of proving his point about phenomenal, super smart, work like magic. And also what proved the most is not his hour-long presentation about iPhone's features, but truly happy users. And some presenters will use words that show uncertainty, like, I think so, even I believe, because what you think can be questioned. But saying it is the best, you can't be that easily questioned. I want to end the presentation here because after this, he's going into more details about the product features. In summary, those are the techniques that Steve Jobs used in his first iPhone launch presentation. And here we learned, number 1, how to build audience attention from the first sentence. Number 2, build authority for the brand first. Number 3, specify the problem by focus on the limitations of the customer's current solutions. Number 4, use data in a smart way that shows the uniqueness of the product. Number 5, use big, certain words wisely to create a stronger effect of the message you're delivering. Number 6, also position yourself as a solution provider instead of a salesperson, because the former solves problem, but the latter sells things people don't need. And you really need to dig deeper on the customers and the small group of people who resonate the most. If you watch more of his presentations, you can see a consistency in his style of presenting throughout all his product launch events. Thanks for staying until the end! As you can see, I am still a small channel, so I really want to give you a flexibility of telling me what kind of topics that you like me to talk about. Comment below if you have any questions right now related to doing your presentation, doing your pitch. I will reply to every single one of you on your question. You can check out my Instagram. I do a more frequent update over there, and we can keep in touch. And I make sure every one of my posts has some value in it, and we can have a different type of discussion over there. Subscribe if you want more content like this. See you next time. Ciao!